Guys, I'm gonna ask you to let me have this one. It has not been a good year for Washington after everything that took place last year with Jayden Daniels in the rookie season. I mean, coming off of that awful Seattle game and the injuries, it's been so bad. And just as a fan of this team, I may never get to watch them win a Super Bowl, but let me try to give them one in the game. So we're taking over this Washington team from the spot that they were in, coming off that 3-6 start to the season, all the injuries on top of the ones that added on in the Seattle game. Now, I'm shutting Jayden down for the rest of the season. I know in real life, they're doing this whole, like, oh, maybe he could play. Like, he should not be playing the rest of the year. Lattimore got a season-ending injury, and also we had Luke McCaffrey get a season-ending injury, so that was two more to add to the list as well. Also, we're going to be using the draft class this upcoming year, and, I downloaded a couple of them, kind of looked through them. This was the best of the bunch that I found that wasn't either really outdated or, like, really weird with how jacked some of the overalls are and some of the ways that they thought of certain players, because there were some ones where it was like, why is Jordan Tyson like a third-round player? And it's like, what are we doing here? But yeah, this is the best one that I found. So we're going to be using this year and next year's real-life draft classes. So this is essentially, if I were taking over Washington from today on, and with this upcoming draft coming up, and the next year's draft, and the lack of picks that Washington has at this point, they made no moves at the deadline to sell any of the 4 healthy players they had left. I think for Washington, shut it down, let it go. Let this season be a dud. It already is. Don't try to make a push and do the Washington special here and win 7 or 8 games in the season and then really just be picking 12th, 13th, 14th in the draft. So I simmed to the end of the year with no Jayden or any of those other guys playing. And, well, we went 4-13 on the year. This is how the standings actually worked. It was really weird starting from this current week and seeing how the results kind of ended, because all the good teams just kept on winning and then all the bad teams like just got destroyed. And like you might be saying like, oh yeah, that makes sense, but it doesn't make sense for us to have a 4-win season. I think we had like the 7th pick of the draft. Like, look at how much the drop off is. Literally the 10 seed in the AFC had 9 wins. The 11 seed had 5 wins. That's just really weird. So I don't know if there's some weird sim stuff when you start at that point in the season, but you can look at how the season ended up being with us in terms of the statistics. Terry being out for a couple of games, Debo, I mean, he honestly played better in real life than I was expecting. Like, I am not one of these fans for Washington that was coming out here expecting to go to a Super Bowl this year. I thought, all the Washington fans being like, oh, well, we won 12 games, made the championship, and obviously we got better, so we should win the Super Bowl. It's like, no, that's not realistic. That's not how things work. But you could already see the first, wrench that we got thrown here. All the retirements. It's the oldest team in the league. None of them really bother us except for Bobby Wagner. That would have been nice to keep him for another year. All the other ones inconsequential, like Zach Ertz is replaceable and all those other players replaceable. So not really worried there. Free agents that we have available to us. We're going to try to keep certain guys like Chris Paul, who plays pretty decently at guard this year, at least in real life, so wanted to keep him. He didn't want to stick around. Guys like Chris Rodriguez, who's been nice in certain spots. But yeah, going back to what I was thinking, like, Washington, every team generally, or at least most teams, get better in the offseason. If you only look at it as your team, it's like, oh, we added this and we added that. It's like, well, every team gets draft picks and every team signs free agents and every team makes moves to make their team better. If your team isn't better, unless you are like the Jets right now who are deconstructing, generally everybody gets better, and you're relying on the oldest roster in the league. Regression's gonna kick in. Players have regressed. It is what it is. And Terry's been hurt. And Jayden, I don't think he's actually played bad this year. Everyone wants to throw around sophomore slump. It's like, he's got no one to throw to. All of his top 4 receivers were hurt, and not really much you could do there. You want to talk about regression? How about like Marshawn Lattimore? We're cutting him because Marshawn Lattimore, oh my goodness, if I could go on a rant for like 5 minutes, I would, about how bad Marshawn Lattimore has been this season. Like, my goodness, he has been among the worst players in the league who have seen substantial playing time. He's out for season now in real life, but The damage he did in those 9 games is unbelievable. He was so bad. We'll also be cutting Will Harris when we get the opportunity. He's still a little banged up. He was bad also for Washington this year. But yeah, I mean, the positive for Washington in real life and right here for us is a lot of money. You know, cutting a guy like Marshawn Lattimore, that's $18 million. And with everything that we have here, over $100 million. Washington is in a good spot because they have a lot of money. People are like, oh, this old team with not a lot of draft picks, they're done for. It's like, well, they got money. They can go and spend some. I'm going to go and try to bring in Tyquan Thornton. Jacob Martin was playing pretty well, so try to bring him back on a 1-year deal. Lattimore out. We need a veteran corner to come back in. Chidobe Awuzie, I think, could be a nice little Band-Aid pickup for us. This team needs a secondary overhaul. Looking at the safeties here, I really like what Alohi Gilman's done in real life for the Ravens since they have acquired him. He's kind of made a bit of an impact, and I think, you know, bringing him in would be pretty nice for us. And then Daron Payne. Honestly, Daron Payne has performed way over expectations in real life. I'm not so sure that at 29 years old he's going to continue that. I want this team to get younger. This is what they need. Trading Daron Payne to the Chargers for a 3rd-round pick, basically. Washington needs to get younger. They need draft picks. They need to start building a foundation. They tried to do what even like maybe the Texans did to an extent last year. They tried to just go all in. Let's get players. Let's get Joe Mixon. Let's get Stephon Diggs. Let's get these older players, these veterans, and try to go and make a push since we have a young quarterback. I think teams are learning now with the Texans and with Washington. Do not just push all your chips into the middle of the table after 1 year. Build a foundation. Let your quarterback actually work with a young core, grow together, and then maybe in year 3, year 4 of that rookie contract, then you start pushing. But maybe don't do it immediately because you're going to get a disaster season like this. You're going to get what the Texans had last year where, I mean, they made the playoffs, they won a playoff game, but like it wasn't the same with the Texans. So, and they're not looking too good this year either because they deconstructed because they realized, well, they're not a Super Bowl team yet, or they weren't one yet. You know, I'm sorry if I am talking too much about my feelings about what Washington has done this past year, but you know, there's just a lot to talk about. Now, Alohi Gilman did not want to accept our contract, so we moved to Plan B. That's Brian Cook. And Brian Cook, well, he also doesn't sign. We got Awuzie. We went for Nakobe Dean, failed. We end up with Blake Cashman, which, you know, I wanted to get younger with a guy like Nakobe Dean, didn't work. Now we go for our 3rd try at a safety, or Darius Washington. I really did want Gilman, but didn't work out. We end up with Awuzie and Cashman as, you know, instant fixes. Jacob Martin will string him along, or Darius Washington, though, young. Tressway, he's old, but he's a punter, and Tressway should just probably retire in Washington. And we go to the draft. So we were able to snag an extra draft pick due to the trade with Daron Payne. And let's see how Madden thinks the draft will go with the Jets, #1 overall pick. How about TJ Parker out of Clemson being the #1 overall pick? Number 2, it is the New Orleans Saints, and they go Fernando Mendoza. Interesting. I'm not really too big of a fan of this QB class in real life, so I love this pick, though. How about the Titans at 3? Jordan Tyson. That would be fun. Cam Ward, Jordan Tyson. But Ruben Bain going with Max Crosby to the Raiders. That could be dangerous. Number 5 pick. Dante Moore was in this draft class and a very high prospect. How about to the Browns at number 5? Number 6, the pick right before us. So yeah, like I said, we ended up with a 4-win season, but we had the 7th pick. Now, I think Washington could get a higher pick than this. Especially if they win 4 games, they're going to get a higher pick. I think Washington in real life will end up with about 5 wins. If I had to say what I would do, if I were selecting for Washington, I would take Caleb Downs. I don't even know if Caleb Downs, I don't know how high he's going to go because I think he is just the clear best player in the draft. But if you're not taking Caleb Downs, you obviously don't need a quarterback and you don't have to reach on one. You don't maybe need to pick super high on a top prospect unless maybe Ruben Bain is there or something like that. Otherwise, unless there is a top prospect, trade down. Washington needs draft picks. They only had 5 going into this year. A Daron Payne trade. If you could trade Marshawn Lattimore in the offseason and someone else wants him, go for it. If you can trade Debo or whoever else, just make it happen. But other than that, trade down, get picks. Now, this was also interesting. The Patriots took Jeremiah Love in the first round. I guess they just want to have the wildest backfield ever. But we trade down with the Rams. The Rams had 2 first-round picks. They go and take McKinney and Peter Woods. They go Peter Woods at 7. We now have the 23rd pick. And I think, for as bad as the defense is in Washington, I don't think the answer is drafting more secondary members. They already drafted Sainristil still. They already drafted Trey Amos. I think they need a veteran corner. So I am going to go in the spot that I would have went last year if I were Washington. And I know some Washington fans are very divisive about picking this position. But in round 1, I'm taking one of my guys in the draft class. How about USC's Mikhail Lemon at wide receiver? Washington fans are like, well, why do we need a wide receiver? We need defense. We need defense. You do, but you don't need to draft another corner. You need to go and, sign a corner. I think draft a safety. That's where I said if you're picking up there and you're going to select, take Caleb Downs. If not, though, you can maybe get an edge, get Parker, get Ruben Bain. But if not, trade down and you need to take a wide receiver. It doesn't maybe need to be in round 1, but you need to take a wide receiver. Terry's going to be 30. Debo's on his way out. And you can see what the receiving core looks like right now. Jalen Lane doesn't seem like he's going to be a guy. Luke McCaffrey I like, but I don't know how much he's going to be long-term. And in the second round, I'm going to make a trade up here. We have the number 55 pick. I am trading up with the Miami Dolphins, a little pick swap, throwing them a couple of the extra picks that we got in other trades, moving up because Bobby Wagner retired. And I think there is a player here. I think he will probably go in the first round as of right now. Maybe things will, things will change from now until the draft. But how about going in the top 40 and taking Arvell Reese, linebacker out of Ohio State, to replace Bobby Wagner? That's where we go on defense there. And then in round 3, let's go to San Diego State. This team needs edge rush help, especially with Dorrance Armstrong. He got hurt. I don't know what he's going to be next year. Armstrong was playing really good this year, but you need some edge rush help. So how about doubling down? 3rd round and 4th round. Trey White and then Mikael Kamara out of Indiana. Kamara could have came out last year, didn't. He's probably going to fit in as like a middle round pick. Think draft them in the 4th round's pretty fair. And then how about in the 5th round? You do maybe need some running back help eventually. CJ Baxter, a player I do like a lot. I like a lot of the Texas players in this upcoming, draft class or two. And we'll go defensive tackle Dominique Orange in the later rounds. We have a bunch of 5th round picks, so we're just going to be spending them on other guys. Let me go and select one of my Baylor guys. Michael Trigg, who's had a pretty solid season for Baylor. If Bryson Washington was available to us, I would have absolutely went for it because I love me some Bryson Washington. And then backup quarterback Mariota was asking for a pretty absurd amount of money in free agency. So how about we go Haynes King, Georgia Tech, rolling this year. Let's go and get Haynes King and then spend our final pick on Matthew McDoom. So essentially the philosophy for this draft class is 1, give Jayden a guy he can lean on long term, and 2, build up the defense. We spent a lot of our other picks on defense. Our next 3 premium draft picks were on defense. We then grabbed a corner, a defensive tackle. The only other offensive players I drafted were in the 5th round. Here's what the team's going to look like going into year 2. Mikhail Lemon, hey, superstar Dev will take that. And we'll have Tyquan Thornton in there. Ben Sinnott should get an opportunity at tight end. See what you have in a 2nd round pick. I mean, you spent a lot to get him. For some reason, picking Ben Sinnott in the 2nd round and then never giving him an opportunity. We're going to give him an opportunity. New safety duo, and we're going to have the next year's draft class, Arch Manning, DJ Lagway, Ryan Williams, Jeremiah Smith. I mean, we're obviously not going to have an opportunity to take guys like Jeremiah Smith and Ryan Williams because I don't imagine we're going to win 4 games again this year. But for contract extensions, I think a big one you got to get done. Frankie Louvu, see if he can continue on his all-pro season from last year. And then Laramie Tunsil, who's been one of the older players. That's been a good acquisition. Definitely keep Laramie Tunsil around. He, like I said, a good one and one that has worked out. You get to the end of the season, how about 10-7 on the year? So back to the playoffs goes Washington. They won 10 games, but it was on the back of the offense. The defense still isn't good, but you're not expecting it to be in a 1-year turnaround for how bad the defense was this past year. And then you lose Bobby Wagner to retirement. Arvell Reese could be really nice, but he's not going to be Bobby Wagner good day one. And you were able to sign Chidobe, who should be better than Marshawn Lattimore, get a new safety duo who should be better, but still, you're I mean, going from like about as bad of a defense as it gets to hoping you could just be kind of maybe top 20. So we're going to cover the second half of these games, and we will have a halftime score. It is 17-17. Washington got their first playoff win in a very long time against Tampa Bay. It was the first playoff win I got to experience, like, not in my lifetime, because Washington won a playoff game in my lifetime, but it was when I was too young to even comprehend it. So the Tampa Bay game last year was the first time I ever actually got to watch my favorite team win a playoff game. Let's see if we can do it again. It was a magical year for Jayden's rookie season, and it has already fallen apart, but I have come here to rebuild things and see if we can go and beat Tampa Bay on the road again. In the simulation here, they did make the Super Bowl, so we are taking on the defending NFC champions, as handing it off to Bill and giving him a carry for 5 yards. I'm going to be flipping between calling him Jacory, calling him Krusky Merritt, calling him Bill. Whatever we call him, we're calling this a touchdown. And the end zone found, a lead taken, and Jacory gives us a 7-point lead. What an opening drive for Washington as Baker Mayfield takes the field. Mike Evans with the completion for the first down as Mayfield drops back under center, throws it short, and it's going to be a gain of 8 yards for K-Dot, and now handing off Bucky Irving, lit up! Oh, that was Orville Reese, I'm pretty sure. What a hit from Reese as that throw up the seam. It's a Buka first down as they go back to the ground. Oh, there you go. And Bucky Irving for first down yardage. The defense not looking too good right now, as that's going to be another open hole for Bucky Irving. Baker underneath. That's a touchdown for Chris Godwin. That did not take long for them to respond with a touchdown of their own. That's kind of how things have been for this Washington team. As a blitz, it's Antoine Winfield off the edge, getting the sack. It's second down and 15. Checking to the outside, and he'll have 4 yards and set up third down and 11. To the air, Jayden over the middle. That's caught. There's Makai Lemon getting the first down of the 40-yard line. Now a little sweep to the outside. Gets the lead block, and Bill's going to get 5 on the play. Second down and 5 from the shotgun as they hand it off, and he's driven down. Loss of yards. Third down and 8. Jayden to the air. Picking up blocks. Deep ball. And in double coverage. Incomplete. Wanted. I think that was Tyquan Thornton on a deep shot, which, hey, not a bad idea, but not in double coverage. So Baker Mayfield back out of the field. There's Ibuka. And Emeka Ibuka is just going to start carving up this defense. I mean, you're really relying on guys like Mikey Sainer still, guys like Trey Amos to get better, as Bucky Irving running through this defense. You're really relying on those young corners to get better. That's why I think Washington shouldn't be targeting corner in the draft. You can't have another young corner. You need a veteran in there. You need a guy you can at least lean on. Maybe it's a Wouzier, maybe it's another trade, maybe it's something else. Maybe Marshawn Lattimore figures out how to play football again. Washington's able to get a stop 4th and inches, and the Bucks probably could have had their way with that one and go for it. But instead, they'll just take the 3 kickoff return. And there is Jalen Lane on the return. And an open lane gets him to the 40-yard line. There you go. Nice starting field position. That's one thing Washington's been good at least in real life so far. Now, Luke McCaffrey's been one of the better kick returners in the league, as that's a just brutal play there. That's not going to get him much of all in third down. Jayden, it is he's throwing. Pass up in the air is incomplete for Terry, and they'll have to punt it away. And that's where it gets a little scary, because with the way this Washington defense has been playing, you don't know if you're going to get a stop, but that is a sack. Mikey Sainer still, corner blitz, and he'll be backed up at the 8-yard line. Under 10 minutes to play in this 4th quarter. Baker, no one's in open, it's a sack. Fumble, Jerzon Newton forced it, and Jacob Martin recovers in the end zone. Huge play from Jerzon Newton. I am really excited to see Jerzon Newton can be for this Washington team in real life, though. That's, I guess, my personal excitement still lies in him to be a good player, who's someone I was really high on pre-draft. got, knocked down because of injuries. And Washington fans have kind of been a little too sour on him, I feel like. He's gotten better this year. I think he's made, some nice impact plays, but I want to see him take that next leap going into year 3. So, I'm at least still optimistic about him. And there's Chris Godwin on that one for 5 yards. Second down, 31-yard line, down by 4. They're going to hand it off. Stiff arm to the outside. Not able to get far. Arvell Reese gets in there again for a nice tackle. Third down and 5. Right at the line. Forced out Sainer still. They're going for it. Fourth down, Baker Mayfield in the face of pressure. Gets it out, and there's Ibuka free. First down, 21-yard line, Bucky Irving. It kind of hurts to watch this team defend the run up the middle. It's bad, and I guess that's what you lose when you get rid of Daron Payne. Is that throw to the outside? Just enough space for Chris Godwin to score a touchdown, take the lead right back. 34-31. It's been a high-scoring battle. Bill on the screen. First play of the drive. There goes Jacare all the way to the 21-yard line. Huge play for Bill. And Washington right back in position to tie this one up, and they want the lead. Screen this time. It's left side. And a lot of room. A move made. And a first down again. I think that was McNichols on the play. Now handoff C.J. Baxter. All 3 running backs getting involved as Baxter still in the game here. Swing it out to him on the swing screen, and Baxter down to the 1. Half a yard out. Jayden snakes it in. Touchdown, Washington. And what a shootout we have in the second half here. 38-34. Baker, you got under 3 minutes to try to come back in this one with another scoring drive as that completion for 7. Sets up third down and 3. Baker quick slant. And they need someone to lean on. It's Mike Evans again at the 2-minute warning midfield. That pass for Ibuka is short, 2 yards, 1:30 to go. Now they're taking a lot of time, but they have all the opportunity in the world, especially with a big 20-yarder to Chris Godwin to the 28-yard line, and Evans with a flat-out drop, but still a lot of time. Pass to Bucky, breaks a tackle, and Irvin gets 5 on the play as third down. Baker scrambling. Baker Mayfield. There's 14 more. It's first and goal. 60 seconds to play. And Godwin to the 4-yard line. Baker is going to run it. Baker, end zone, touchdown, Buccaneers. Mayfield with 30 seconds to play scores, and Washington's defense couldn't buy a stop. I think they scored on like every single possession, it feels like, in the second half, as now with just under 30 seconds to play. Washington has timeouts, but I mean, they don't got a lot of time. Buccaneers are playing top-down coverage, not going to let them get anything down the field. And with that throw being an incomplete pass, you're down to 14 seconds. And that completion to Thornton will be a final timeout. 10 seconds to play, and from midfield, just about. And that's going to be a scramble, but hey, you got into field goal range. The issue is you don't have a 4th timeout. Game is over. I mean, a Hail Mary wasn't going to give you much better chances, considering maybe you already used your Hail Mary luck up in your rookie season, but I mean, at least it would have been something. It's an unfortunate way to end your year, because it was exactly what the issue with this team is. You don't have a defense. You don't have anybody that can help you out here. And even though you're trying to rebuild this defense, it was not going to be an overnight rebuild. Still, getting back to the playoffs is nice. Buccaneers get their revenge from 2 years ago, and Jerzon Newton at least had a very impactful day with a sack and a half, forced fumble, and Jayden Daniels, back healthy, 32 touchdowns, almost 4,000 yards. And look at Bill for 1,100 yards, 10 touchdowns. Daniels also with a nice rushing productive season, having almost 600 yards and 6 touchdowns, so that's nice. And Terry McLaurin, 1,300 yards, 14 touchdowns. Mekhi Lemon, rookie, 1,000 yards. Awesome to see. And look at Terry, though. I mean, he's never put up the big-time yardage, but here he goes, finally putting that up. Big season. Also the career high in touchdowns, so, I think that is, once again, franchise record for Washington with 14 receiving touchdowns in a season. But you could see this is too many tackles. That many tackles as a team, that's a bad thing. That means the other team has the ball a lot. That's just really bad. I mean, my goodness, you cannot allow that to happen. You should never have a cornerback have 100 tackles. You should never have a safety have 100 tackles. Like, it's just, that's really bad. But you can look at the Pro Bowlers. It's Terry making it. Nice to see him get wide receiver 1 as well. And then along the offensive line, Tyler Biadasz getting that. Sam Cosmi. There you go. That's double it up on the offensive line. So the offense, though, I mean, it was a top 5 offense in the league. It's about what you expect. Cliff Kingsbury and, you know, developing Josh Connerly, who, you know, has been a little tough. Look at Orville Reese also making it as a rookie player. So having him and Blake Cashman in at linebacker, I mean, they do heavily weight tackles. But Luke McCaffrey also made it. And look at this. Ravens win the Super Bowl, but look who's Super Bowl MVP. Denzel Boston as a rookie. Super Bowl MVP. That'd be awesome. Denzel Boston to Baltimore. Be cool. Dorrance Armstrong doesn't want to re-sign. We're going to have to let him walk. We're going to use our franchise tag on Tyler Biadasz. Just made the Pro Bowl. It's not too bad for a center. It's a little bit more expensive, but we can handle that. We have $100 million plus in cap, so I'll be fine keeping our Pro Bowl center around. We're going to throw a contract offer out to Geno Smith to be a backup quarterback for us. And then an edge rusher. I would have loved to keep Dorrance Armstrong, but an opportunity presents itself for a young edge rusher. How about what Tuli Tuipulotu has done ever since the Chargers, you know, this past year moved on from Joey Bosa? Let Tuli get the opportunity. He's played pretty solid. Let's go and bring him in to be a long-term edge rusher for this team. And on the topic of getting younger, Malik Mustafa, big fan of his. And let's go and bring him in as well for a nice, cheap contract. I know we just signed some safeties last year, but I'm happy to sign him, move him over to strong safety and start him over Kobe Bryant. And that will be our nice future piece there. Maybe get a player who's a little bit more similar to what we had in Jeremy Chin a couple years ago. Zach Harrison's another player we're going to offer a contract to as well. So you can kind of see here with the key players trying to get younger. Now, we are able to sign Mustafa, not able to sign Zach Harrison, which is unfortunate. But with Tuipulotu, we are going to up that contract a little bit more. He's 24 years old. This team has struggled so much trying to find some legit edge rush play for the future ever since, you know, you trade Montez Sweat and Chase Young didn't pan out. So you get Tuipulotu, which is awesome. So you'll have him for the future. So him and Mustafa, 2 pieces of this defense that could help out a lot. And you're looking at some other potential pass catching help here. And I like what I see with this one. Dalton Kincaid sitting here, no one really that interested, and he really wants to be here. And you know what I'm thinking? Dalton Kincaid's a guy who pre-draft, a lot of comparisons, myself included, kind of Zach Ertz-esque. Hey, how about bring him in and make him maybe our new, younger, better Zach Ertz type player, as Garrett Williams now also on the market. He's only got a normal debt, but Garrett Williams has been awesome for the Cardinals, and if nobody wants to offer him a contract, hey, let's go and get ourselves a little bit better, more experienced, proven corner that we can, again, have for the future. So you could see 24, 25, 26, 27-year-olds who we sign here. We're going to cut John Bates as well because he's getting paid quite a lot just to be a blocking tight end. And then we'll go with one older addition in Poona Ford to be another help at the defensive tackle, more just kind of a one-year fill-in, help the run defense out a little bit. We also signed a long snapper as well. So I think this free agency class makes a lot of sense for Washington, and we'll go on to the draft where we don't have a top-level pick, and we'll see what it's going to look like. So here is how the next year's draft shakes out. Colin Simmons, the Falcons had the #1 pick, and after picking Jalen Walker and James Pierce, they go with another edge rusher, which is really interesting. They go, how about #3 overall pick? It is going to be Dylan Stewart to the Arizona Cardinals. So the Cardinals got Dylan Stewart this year, and they got Caleb Downs last year, which is crazy. Jeremiah Smith this year for the Saints. Last year they took Fernando Mendoza, so how about that potential connection? And then for the Vikings, #5, Seaton goes here. We pick all the way down in the 20s, obviously. So I'm only going to show you like the notable ones. So like this is a pretty notable one. Ryan Williams to the Browns. So Ryan Williams, Dante Moore, maybe. And then this one, #10 overall draft pick, Arch Manning to the Jaguars. I mean, Trevor Lawrence, I guess he didn't prove himself to be that type of guy for them, and he's been a little disappointing. How about Ahmad Hardy to the Titans? That's really fun, especially if you have Ahmad Hardy, Cam Ward, Jordan Tyson. I think I like that if you can help out the offensive coordinator and head coach situation. But here we are, #22 pick in this draft, and I think I have the guy I want to take. How about we sign Malik Mustafa, made him a free safety? Koi Parrish out of Minnesota. I mean, is that not a lot of fun? How about rebuilding the defense with him, Mustafa? Evan Amos and Sane were still developed and signed Garrett Williams, Tui Pelotu at edge. You drafted a couple of other edge rushers, Arvell Reese at linebacker. Now you have a young, ascending defense where somebody's got to hit. And then in the second round, I said I like some of these Texas players. How about going and grabbing another receiver? We signed Tyquan Thornton, but how about we get a little supersized, better vertical threat for this team, Ryan Wingo, in the second round. And now you have a receiving core of Terry, who is aging, will probably be on his way out eventually. And then we're going to make a trade here. Ardarius Washington, a 5th and a 7th, for Josiah Stewart of the Rams. The Rams have been really stocking up on the D-line. Josiah Stewart lost in the shuffle. Let's bring him in, see what we can do with him. But yeah, receiving core, Terry Old on his way out eventually, or at least regressing. You have Mekhi Lemon, 1,000 yards as a rookie. Ryan Wingo, deep threat. And now you can really kind of push everyone down a little bit and have some good depth here. Jordan Hall, how about a hidden dev player down there? And we also got a really good punter as well. You know, look at that. 13th in true talent, Ryan Eckley out of Michigan State. Hidden dev, 94 power. Only 5 draft picks here because we did trade some late round ones for Josiah Stewart, but I'm fine with the 5 draft picks, especially if they're going to be pretty quality. Also, Jayden Ott sitting here on a practice squad. I brought him in to be a 3rd-string running back for this team. So here's what the team's looking like this season. Dalton Kincaid. Now Benson Ott can kind of be a backup tight end fullback. We'll have Josh Connerly still getting a little bit better, hopefully. Trey Amos up to superstar dev, which is nice. Garrett Williams at corner. Blake Cashman still here at linebacker. And yeah, I think this is a lot better for this team. We weren't able to be like massive spenders. If you want to know why I was holding on to some money, well, this is why. Jayden Daniels, $60 million contract a year. It's going to be a big chunk of your cap, and there was no need to go and spend too much money now, not have enough for later on. We signed Jerzon Newton to an extension, and Mikey Sane we're still doing an extension. If you can go out there and have a draft class where the first 3 guys you take all get second contracts, that's pretty big. And then we get to the end of the season, 12-5 the record, and number 2 seed. And what a matchup you have in the wild card round. Jayden Daniels gets 2nd in MVP, just behind Joe Burrow. But, I mean, as if you couldn't have a more exciting way to kick off your playoffs. Jayden Daniels and Caleb Williams. I mean, personally, among at least the NFC, you know, like my favorite QB kind of dual rivalry here for years to come. Obviously, you have your Mahomes and Josh Allen's on the AFC. You have Lamar and Burrow. But then, like, after that, it's like, man, I want Jayden and Caleb to just put on some classics. I want them to go back and forth for years to come. It's going to be so much fun. And let's see what they got here as their first playoff matchup. Look at Nick Singleton is on the Bears. That's a fun acquisition for them to finally get away from having DeAndre Swift at running back, as Singleton out of the backfield has the completion. So we start the 3rd quarter off 10-7, Washington on top. Bears ball, and Cole Kmet with the first down grab there as handoff. There's Nick Singleton up the middle for a gain of 6 as Williams in the air now. He's going to immediately step up and throw. What a hit! Arvell Reese just jarring that ball loose, and an incomplete pass, but on 3rd down, it goes a lot better for them. DJ Moore with the first down, but like, imagine that. Arvell Reese is flying on this field, hitting hard, and down the middle, that's a completion. DJ Moore again, handoff, Singleton, Luvu gets in, tackle for a yard. As they go back to Singleton again, and this time, he makes a move, is into the end zone, touchdown! And I don't think that was Singleton, actually. Backup, Kamani Vidal. Okay, that's an awesome running back room. I love Kamani Vidal, so yeah, that's great there. 14-10 Bears, as Jayden Daniels throws to the outside for a incomplete pass, or completed for no gain. I don't know what it was. It wasn't very helpful for this team, though, as there's Mekhi Lemon. You got a linebacker on him? Are you kidding me? You got Mekhi Lemon matched up with a linebacker. It's Jayden Daniels scrambling, sliding, and he'll have 6. Maybe could have gotten a little bit more, but I'm okay with him protecting himself as Bill goes down. Loss of 3 as they go 3rd down and 7. Jayden, and as he's throwing, pass up top, incomplete. Man, he threw that one up for Ryan Wingo, I'm pretty sure, but that was not to be. As 3rd down and 9, Caleb threatening to go 3 and out. He's going to throw it deep. He's got one-on-one, and it's caught right over Amos. Toss it out. Vidal is going to have a stiff arm, and Amos brings him out of bounds for a 5-yard gain. Now quick throw to the edge, and there's Cole Komet. Touchdown, Bears. Caleb Williams is dealing in the 3rd quarter, and Jayden now down by 11 suddenly. Look at Bill run. That's an impressive 1st down carry. 4 minutes to play, slot screen, and there's Luke McCaffrey getting his 1 or 2 touches a game, and there's a completion now as well to Dalton Kincaid. 3rd down and 4. Who do you target here? You got a bunch of receivers, and there's Terry McLaurin. 1st down to the 37-yard line. On the edge and maybe right on field goal range to make it a 1-score game. Incomplete pass there. 2nd down and 10. Handing it off. There you go. Getting through the line. Bill. Spin move and a 1st down. 15 yards. And you go play action. Jayden floats it. Open. Completion down to the 2. And everybody getting involved here. Swing it out. Bill. Touchdown. Washington responds. And they needed that one. Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt for the touchdown and a 2-point conversion. Little keeper, Jayden, easy. 2 points is good. Cosme is down, but it will be a 21-18 game. Run for Singleton just gets 2. Vidal has kind of taken majority of the carries and all the touches, though, recently, as Vidal's still in. 3rd down and 2. Caleb finds DJ Moore. 1st down, Reese down to make the tackle as they go to Vidal again, and Vidal has got a nice run. We are on to the 4th quarter now, 35-yard line. Bears got to hold to a field goal, keep it a 1-score game. Roma Dunze, first sighting of him, 4 yards. Quick to Cole Komet, gets off the block and makes the tackle. Garrett Williams, that's big. 3rd down and 2 as Caleb stepping up. Caleb gonna try to run forward, and Caleb Williams has got the block and inside the 10. Williams down to the 7 now as they go play action. And zone, DJ Moore, touchdown. Bears back up by 2 scores, and we are going to need the offense to get us a little bit more. I mean, defense has got to get a stop in these situations at some point. I know the offense only has 18, but kind of hard to just keep coming back from these 2-score deficits as Terry incomplete. 3rd down and 7 now, as Jayden can't go 3 and out here, and there's Makai Lemon. I really don't want to go 1 and done back-to-back years as a QB draw. Keeper for Jayden, where he's going to fumble the football, and it's scooped up. Washington keeps it. Huge to maintain possession as Jayden underneath. There is gonna be a completion as it looked like they had an angle on that one, but Dalton Kincaid gets the 1st down, and now a deep throw. Oh, Luke McCaffrey gets by everybody. Touchdown, Luke McCaffrey. Another much needed big play from the offense. That's a great play from McCaffrey. He's the number 4 receiver, but he makes the most of it, and Chicago takes back over. And can the defense finally get a crucial stop? And it's not going to be there. Another play. Cole Komet. There's not even Colston Loveland doing this. It's Cole Komet as play action. Caleb throw it to the outside. And there's another completion. Can we stop a tight end? As Caleb, oh, look who it is. We're really getting pieced up by Cole Komet. I can't believe it. They're in the red zone, 3rd down and 3. And now Caleb scrambling inside the 5. Big hit. And he holds on to the 1-yard line, handing it off. Nick Singleton putting people on their back. Touchdown, Bears. Another 10-point lead. You just can't get a stop to save your lives as Makai Lemon trying to pull through with another comeback attempt here. It feels like every single time where it's like, oh, the comeback is on, and then we can't get a stop. 2nd and inches, 40-yard line, handing it off, and another 1st down for Bill. They are in field goal range. You very much can take a field goal here, but I mean, maybe they'll go for the touchdown first. I don't know, as they'll go run it. Terry, they just handed it off to Terry. Okay, 10-yard run for Terry. He's still in the backfield, and they'll go sweep it. Bill loses 6. Oh, it's 3rd and 18. Jayden, 3 minutes to play, and with not many places to go, he runs it and hit down for a gain of 6. They're running back to leather, going for it. 4th and 12. Why not just kick the field goal? Just kick the field goal. Jayden in the air. And hey, step it up into pressure. It's a sack. Gervon Dexter. Why did you not kick the field goal? It makes it a one-score game. I know the defense can't get a stop, but you need one even if you score a touchdown. And the defense, well, it looks like they're going to get one here. 3rd down and 13. Caleb, can they get off the field? 3 and out. Caleb is going to have it short. Yeah, that's a stop. Right now, you'd be in a one-score game. And Ja'Cory, I don't think you can really afford to run it. I'll take 7 yards, but you can't run the ball here. And there's Makai Lemon, 1st down, back into Bear territory. 1:30 to go. I hate how they have operated this late game situation. It'd be so much different right now if you had that field goal. They do get out of bounds here at the 23-yard line. Nice play. But we know what this is all about as Makai Lemon gets us to the 1st down. We got to get that onside kick, and I mean, we're even going to score. Looks like we will. Jayden Daniels is in for the rushing touchdown with 40 seconds to play. And here goes the onside kick for a playoff chance, and no good there. Caleb Williams takes home the playoff win over Jayden Daniels. You know, the day these two play in the playoffs, I'm sure the internet will be very rational about their opinions of these two, but for today, Caleb gets the win, and Jayden had 3 touchdowns, no picks, a really good game. He also had that rushing touchdown, so it was a really nice day from Jayden. Makai Lemon, 100 yards. I mean, he did what he had to do, just couldn't get any stops on defense. And we're still trying to rebuild that defense. They're young, they're improving. Koi Parrish with a pick, nice. But Jayden, 2nd in MVP with 4,400 yards, 36 touchdowns, 8 picks. Also added 460 yards and 6 rushing touchdowns. Look at Bill with 1,000 yards on the dot. Terry with another 1,300 yards. Makai Lemon just under 1,100 yards, 9 touchdowns. So back-to-back seasons where the receiving production for the top 2 look pretty identical. Josiah Stewart, 11 sacks. Jerzon Newton, 10.5 sacks. Tuipulotu had 7.5. Amos had 2 picks, and a couple of other guys with a single interception. So Jayden tops the Pro Bowl at the quarterback position. No receivers. Terry did not make it, unfortunate, but on the offensive line, Biotish and Tunsil, Cosme all make it. And then on the defensive side of the football, Arvell Reese, back-to-back Pro Bowls. And I think that is going to be it. Yep, just a single defensive Pro Bowler. And in the Super Bowl, oh my goodness, 37-0? Okay, and we got some retirements. Cashman retired. What the heck is Roschon Johnson doing here? It's 5 years. You're retiring at like 27, 28 years old? I know it's a running back, but my goodness. Tyler Biotish accepts a contract offer. Laramie Tunsil is going to also accept a contract offer. So we have $45 million. You could really see the big hit we took after paying out Jayden Daniels. And yeah, there's some big names here, and we're going to go for one of them. With a number of big-time players, you have Joe Alt, Xavier McKinney, Aiden Hutchinson. How about we really try to bulk up this defense, and on the interior, Jalen Carter. Yeah, not only trying to get a star defensive player, but steal one from our rival. It is Jalen Carter. We have the top offer on him, taking up most of the money we have, but he is coming to Washington. I know Eagles fans are sick about that one, but we also keep Luke McCaffrey, Benson, and we bring in Tanner McKee to be a backup quarterback as well. And in the 1st round, let's keep on adding to the defense. Darrell Culliver is going to be who we bring in. Josiah Stewart was really nice, but edge rusher, we don't have any top-tier talents available to us. Like Tuipulotu seems like he could be a really nice number 2. We got to try to find a true 1 on the outside. Culliver is not a great draft pick. He's got some nice talent, though. And then how about in the 2nd round? Let's go offensive line. Offensive line's getting a little bit older with the Laramie Tunsil impending retirement at any point. Derek Beal, 20th in the class, hidden dev. That might be our guard of the future. That was our weakest spot. And then at linebacker, Arvell Reese was already a hit, but you don't need just one linebacker. Frankie Louvu's getting up there in age. Blake Cashman retired, so Manny Hernandez will be the next draft pick, and it's a good one. 53rd in talent, 90 speed, hidden dev, 22 years old, monster. And then the only other, I guess, notable draft pick potentially for us is this right tackle, who absolutely stinks, but he's hidden dev, so maybe. He's also Virginia, so something there. I mean, maybe we got some. I don't know. He's 63 overall. Unless he has crazy dev, he probably won't be anything great for us, but a solid class overall. Look at this class. Best player, an 84 center. It's like a generational center. And also, look at this fullback. We had a second-round fullback. And of course, it was the Baltimore Ravens drafting a fullback in the second round. 81 overall. What in the world? I have not seen a fullback like that before. Not only that good, but also drafted that high unironically. All right, well, here's the team. Next season, Beal starting at guard. Everybody a little bit better for the young players at least. Ryan Wingo, Makai Lemon. And then on defense, Josiah Stewart still here. Jalen Carter added to this D-line. Garrett Williams, Trey Amos, Mike Samer still a little bit better. Parrish a little bit better. Hernandez starting at linebacker. So the defense is just kind of running it back plus Jalen Carter, which... that's not bad, and you know it's a young crop of guys, and they're getting a little bit better, and that's what the big goal here was, to build that foundation. And Washington finishes 11-6. Defense is still not great. Russian defense is though, but we had the #1 seed at 11 wins. The difference between the 1 seed and the 7 seed was 1 win. That is a weird season. That's actually wild, but. All right, moving on, and, well, we get a little rematch, and the Chicago Bears back to Washington. You need to win this one, not just for the sake of not going one and done again, but just for the sake of not losing your mind if you're a Washington fan, to lose to the 7th seed Caleb Williams-led Bears again and go one and done 3 straight years. I think Washington fans would be throwing a riot at this point if this is how it went out. But for the first half, 17-7, Bears on top. Washington puts in a touchdown, and the Bears score a field goal. It's 20-14, Chicago on top right now. And to start the second half, they go to quick throw, and it's going to be caught for a short gain of 1 yard. 2nd down and 9. Daniels will throw for a completion. And it's going to be Makai Lemon, Terry McLaurin, Ryan Wingo, all these talented receivers. But I think Makai Lemon's really emerging as the go-to guy potentially. It's Jayden Daniels on the read option. 12 yards on the play, and now handing it off. Here's Jacory, and it's going to be 4 more on the play. 2nd down and 6. Jayden has time, and we built that great offensive line. Connerly's become... okay, he's become a very serviceable right tackle for us as Makai Lemon, another catch for 5 yards. Jet pass fake and handed. And there goes Bill to the outside. Make a move. Bill to the 6-yard line. And we're getting more running backs involved as well as Terry McLaurin complete down to the 2-yard line. Draw. Daniels lit up. Thankfully, no fumble. He'll throw. And in the end zone. Touchdown. Makai Lemon scores. And he was a big part of that drive. He had like 4 or 5 grabs on that drive. And now the Bears take back over. We know what this team looks like. Nick Singleton is looking really good this year, but we were going back and forth with running backs. Bill got hurt this year. We've seen more CJ Baxter, and he played well. Now a deep shot, incomplete. Amos down there in coverage. How about a 3 and out for the Bears? Defense gets a stop, and a loss of 4 on our first play of the drive. Now we fire 1-2. A Ben Sinnott catch for 4 yards, 3rd down and 10. As that was Baxter in the game. Jayden is just running around, tossing one up top, and incomplete. Just tried to put one up there for his receiver to make a play on it. Couldn't do it. Bears take back over. Luther Burden gets 7 on the play as Caleb Williams will run for it. Caleb first down. Lot of room. Williams slides 21 yards. 47-yard line, down by 1, 4 minutes to play in the 3rd quarter. Wide open. Romadunze inside the 5 to the 4. Why was he that wide open? Singleton on the ground, punches it in. Touchdown Bears. Nick Singleton gives them the lead. Another 2-point conversion. Back to Singleton. Is going to shrug off 1, not 2. And it will be just a 5-point lead instead of the full 7 as that completion. Is that Sinnott again for a gain of 9? Nice to keep him around. He's playing pretty well as a number 2 tight end. Merritt for a first down. Play action to Baxter as they'll throw the outside and a completed pass. Everyone getting involved. I think that was Jayden Lane getting a catch. I mean, everybody's making a play. Bill goes down for a loss, 3rd down and 5. And the pass, Terry, wide open, gets to the outside. Oh, look at Terry McLaurin. He's out of the red zone. Turning 5 yards into like 30 on that play. And there we go. We set up 3rd down and 6. Jayden, under a minute to play in the 3rd. A lot of time. He'll scramble. He's got room. Jayden Daniels, touchdown. Washington back on top. And we will go to the 4th quarter. Well, it looks to be a lead as Daniels swings it out, and a 2-point conversion is good. That's Michael Trigg, 3rd string tight end. Everybody is making a play, literally everybody. All 3 of our tight ends, Lemon, Lane, Terry, Baxter, and Merritt, all of them. Caleb goes play action and delivers a strike down the middle. Luther Burton first down. And in Washington territory, here's a completion. Cole Kmet for 4, and it's going to be 3rd down and 6. Williams is off the helmet. Oh, I don't think he was ready for that ball, I guess. 4th down, they'll punt it, and it is a good one down to the 3-yard line. So Washington up by 3, but they're pinned back, and they'll go at a handoff. Jacory is getting 3. 2nd down, and throw it for a 1st down completion, and more to Dalton Kincaid. 18-yard line, no worries of a safety now as Daniels will get another open completion. Jayden Lane in the flat, 6 yards. 3rd down and 4. Daniels gonna step up and run for it. He's got a lot of space. Jayden Daniels, you can't leave him that wide open to run for 20 yards. We'll swing it out now. Bill is got a loss of 1 on that play. I love that as Daniels will throw again. That pass is for Makai Lemon, getting back going after that opening drive of the half. And now Makai Lemon on the 1st down. Trigg is in the backfield. Daniels with a read option will get 2 as somebody's hurt, but it's not Daniels at least. And that throw for Makai Lemon, another catch. Daniels, 3rd down and 3. And it's Terry McLaurin. I mean, everybody is making plays. This is just such a good team effort on offense. Bill loses another yard on 1st down. Terry's in the backfield, and they're just lining everybody up everywhere. Makai Lemon, how many catches does he have? He has 10 on the day. Under 6 minutes to go. Daniels scrambles. Daniels again. He's down to the 2. Almost found the end zone one more time, but he's going to keep it. And Jayden Daniels runs it in. And this time it might be Washington sending Caleb Williams home, 36-26. And they're not going to go down that easily, though. Roma Dunze to the 30-yard line in just 1 play. Cole Kmet now inching closer to the red zone. 4:10 to go, 22-yard line for Caleb. Gets into the red zone where Luther Burton's lit up by Arvell Reese. He's such a big-time hitter in the middle of our defense. As they'll go to the swing, broken tackle Singleton. Getting over there is going to be a crew of guys bringing him down. 3rd down and 7 for Caleb, who is also going to try to scramble, but he is blown up. 4th down and 4. They could take the field goal. They're doing exactly what we did last year, but it works for them. Touchdown. It was the same situation. 4th down, 3 minutes to go, you can kick a field goal. They went for it. They scored. And now we're only up by 3, but Bill's running for a 1st down. Can you ice the game here? I think this is Jaden Ott on a run. I mean, I guess we'll give him a carry. 2nd down and 9. There's a completion. Makai Lemon again. 3rd down and 4. Slant route. Caught. And a 1st down. Jayden Lane ices the game. And a 36-33 win. I don't know why Jayden Lane was playing so much. I guess Luke McCaffrey and Ryan Wingo were hurt. But regardless, look at the effort from everybody. Jayden, 84 yards, 2 touchdowns on the ground. Makai Lemon had an 11-catch day. That is awesome. And we'll move on to see that, Ryan Wingo got banged up. And Jalen Carter's also hurt week to week. So we'll see how long that's going to impact him. We go and, well, it's an NFC championship against another familiar opponent to Washington. They had a run-in with Tampa Bay already in this video. How about running back a playoff game? A statement win for Jayden Daniels' rookie season against the Detroit Lions. How about the Lions looking for revenge now? A trip to the Super Bowl on the line. The Lions, I mean, you've seen what happened to them in the Super Bowl when they made it last year. It didn't go so well for them. And now looking to get back to it. 13-0 is your score, though, at half. Washington on top and taking care of business. Obviously, though, you got all the time in the world. Even though you got 0 points on the board now, you could always get those points in the next 2 quarters. Sack Josiah Stewart ends their drive. And Washington, what a turnaround for this defense just from last week. 0 points to the Lions is crazy. Daniels will keep on rolling this drive. 3rd down and 5 at the 44-yard line. Can he get that first down? Again to field goal range. Lemon out of bounds, 41-yard line. They're going to go for it. I can't blame them, but it's a bold call, and it's going to work out. It's Michael Trigg out of the backfield. Tight end is getting the first down. Look at Daniels. Oh, my goodness. That was just blown up by the Lions, and it'll really derail these set of downs. Might have to settle for 3 here. It'll be okay, though, as that completion. Dalton Kincaid, nice grab. Makes the field goal a lot easier. Kick is good. 16-0. Still a 2-score game, but you're going to need some 2-point conversions as Jared Goff delivers for a completion of 6 yards over the middle. Jamison Williams, don't want to get his speed going. And he's got still the same cast of guys, though. Sam Laporta and all of them. I just don't see Jahmyr Gibbs out there. And I imagine David Montgomery's either incredibly washed or retired. I don't know where Jahmyr Gibbs is, but he ain't here. And I guess that's the difference for this Lions team, having to do it all through the air, taking the shot, Dave, and looking for his man. It's knocked away. And the secondary playing better. Washington with the ball back, and Jayden Daniels scrambling ahead for another first down. 4 minutes to play in the 3rd. Still up. Daniels gets rid of the football. Good job there to not take that sack. 3rd down and 10. Daniels taking a shot down the field, just floats it up, and in the hands of Lane, couldn't bring it in, and the Lions will take it back. I mean, there's only so many times where you could fail to score points on a possession before it's just too little too late, and they're not even doing much there. Another 3 and out. Makai Lemon gets the ball, and Makai Lemon, I mean, we are giving him the ball so much, and he is handling all of it, all of the pressure, and Dalton Kincaid, big play. Having Dalton Kincaid on this team, I think he's just such a good acquisition for them, as is Bill for 5 yards. 3rd down, and Jayden to the air. Bill picks up a block. Daniels outside, couldn't bring it in. 2 defenders there to make a play on it. Field goal. It's a crucial one. It's a 3-score lead, and the Lions go into the 4th quarter with 0 points still. Goff with the laser, completed. 1st down and into Washington territory. If you don't score on this drive, it might just be all over, and that completion will get them the 1st down. 32-yard line. Guess if you really want to, you could take a field goal here to cut it back down to a 2-score game. Highly doubt they would, though, as Goff outside, Amonra, 1st out of the 12-yard line, as Goff with a clean pocket is gonna find his man again. 1 yard out, and finally the Lions, they're gonna find the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. 19-7 now, and it's down to a 12-point game. The Lions defense gets a stop there. 2nd down and 12, and Daniels down the middle, incomplete. And now maybe getting a little worrying if the Lions get a 3 and out here. Daniels 3rd and 12. He'll scramble. He'll find his way just for the 1st down. And that's a crushing one to not get if you're the Lions. Daniels just barely gets it. And Bill powering forward for the 1st down. Midfield now. Handoff. There goes Bill again. Another 1st down. Running it well. 38-yard line. Keep it going. Bill. 1st down, 15 more, 7 minutes to play as Baxter checks in, and a completion. Jalen Lane for another nice one. 2nd and inches. Bill, 1st down again. Keep it going. 12-yard line, and the run for Bill. That's a big hit, actually, and it'll be 2nd down and 8. Read option. Jayden to the outside, not able to get 4. Huge 3rd down and 7. Lions need a stop to keep it a 2-score game. Jayden into pressure, gets it out. It's a good throw, but he couldn't reel it into the end zone. Terry had a chance at it. Instead, it'll be a field goal. 22-7. So it's a touchdown, 2-point conversion, and a touchdown is what you need if you're the Lions. 15-point game. And Goff, with 5 minutes to go, it's still enough time as long as you keep all those timeouts in your back pocket. Kind of score with maybe 2 to 3 minutes to go. You're in a position to where it is possible, unlikely, but possible. And that completion is knocked out of Sam Laporta's hands. And Goff on 3rd down and 8 is going to throw over the middle in pressure. And that's a tight window to Amon-Ra. 1st down to the 35. Goff pressured. Goff down. And 2 guys in there. Both Thule and Jerzon getting in for that sack. And they'll run it to get 8 yards on their next play. I mean, 3rd down and 12, still a long way to go. But it's 4 down territory. Taking the shot deep and knocked away. Don't love that. You should probably be playing for a 4th and medium instead. 4th and long. Goff deep again. Flag is down. Touchdown. What is going on down there? I would have to imagine that was like a push-off or something, because why was our cornerback out of bounds on that play? Garrett Williams, he had to have gotten like pushed out of bounds, and that's why he was wide open. Pass interference on the defense? Are you kidding me? Why was that? What? Like, seriously, what? I don't even know what happened on that play. Why was that pass interference on a receiver that wasn't even anywhere near him? 8-point game. Washington taking the shot deep. It's incomplete. Terry had a step, just not enough arm on it. 3rd down and 8. Come on. Not like this. It's going to be outside. Caught by Bill. Makes a move. And not going to have the 1st down. And look at this dude. Why is he running at the camera? What is going on in this game? 2 minutes to play. Lions have the ball back. Okay, this is actually getting scary. Arvell Reese with the tackle, 4 yards there. 2nd down and 6, and the completion for the 1st down. A touchdown or 2-point conversion. He could send this to overtime. They're running the football, and they're getting a big run. That's 13 yards, 90 seconds to play, and that throw to Sam Laporta's for an 8-yarder. This is actually getting scary as Goff floats it. Caught again. Lions, they were down 19-0, and Goff, deep ball, and it's incomplete. Amon-Ra couldn't bring that one in. That was an impossible one to bring in. As that though, Sam Laporta into the red zone. No, come on, defense. 50 seconds. Goff outside. It's got Laporta again. He's inside the 5. 3rd down and 2. And Goff outside to Amon-Ra. Breaks the tackle. Amon-Ra. Touchdown. Lions. No. 2-point conversion. Come on, save this game. Send us to the Super Bowl. Throw to the outside. Someone make a tackle. There it is. Arvell Reese. Arvell Reese makes the play. And the onside kick is picked up. Washington's going all the way to the Super Bowl. Thank you, Arvell Reese, for making big-time plays when we needed it, and the biggest one to prevent the Lions from making a historical comeback. Jayden has a pretty okay day. I mean, Lions defense was tough. Mekhi Lemon leads the team in catches again, and another nice game from Jerzon Newton. Arvell Reese also had a pick in that game. We're going to the Super Bowl. We're taking on the Buffalo Bills. So far, we've had Mahomes win another ring, then Lamar won it. Now, Josh Allen is looking for ring number 1. Jayden Daniels looking for ring number 1. Somebody's getting there first. And will it be Josh Allen after all these years finally getting his? I mean, I guess if you want to have a little bit of a revenge, I guess it's a Dalton Kincaid revenge game. Maybe just maybe Dalton Kincaid can go nuts in this one. We're back in Tampa Bay, not taking on the Buccaneers this time. It's a fun Super Bowl matchup. It said Buffalo Bills. I think this would be an awesome one. Josh Allen, Jayden Daniels, and I would imagine the Bills have made some big time improvements to their roster. At least I'd hope so. But James Cook still probably doing his thing. Khalil Shakir out there. Keon Coleman probably developed into a really good player. As we get to the halftime mark, it is going to be 7-7 after 1 second quarter. Bills 10-7. Bills, it's 13-7. Okay, 1-score game. Second half starts off. Washington football. And we're starting things off with Jalen Lane making a grab for the first down, 45-yard line. Quick throw. And there's Terry for 5 yards on the play. Jayden not had a good game so far. Bill sending the pressure. Jayden beats the blitz, and Jalen Lane. All right, Jalen Lane making some plays in this playoff run. I did not expect that, as that's a weird-looking handoff. Okay, I don't know what that was, game. But, all right, Jayden Daniels throwing outside, and look at that. Mekhi Lemon has got X Factor now. It's Super Bowl week, so people get their X Factors, and dev traits change. Down the middle. Oh, look who it is. Touchdown, Dalton Kincaid. I said it's the Dalton Kincaid revenge game. Come on. Whenever you have a revenge game situation, I think your odds of going up at least go up by like 5 to 10%. If there is a revenge game in play, it gives you a better chance, as that throw from Josh Allen caught for a first down. And already in Washington territory, here goes James Cook, brought down by Newton. Cook only 19 yards on just 6 carries, so not a great day so far. Allen is going to sit in the pocket. Intercepted! Oh, it's picked up, but there's a flag down. Garrett Williams with the pick, and they're calling pass interference. Come on! Garrett Williams, what's going on over there? I don't think that Lions one was fair. Look at Orville Reese getting into the backfield. Orville Reese is so good. And there's Reese again, forcing the incomplete pass. Just disrupt this drive. Orville Reese with 2 straight plays. Allen is going to scramble. Allen is got the first down to the 8-yard line. And Allen Caper is going to get a block downfield from Cook and get brought down. I think that was Reese again who brings him down. And that quick throw, Shakir, touchdown, Bills. Khalil Shakir. That's heartbreaking. We caught a pick, and they call pass interference. And that throw for the 2-point conversion, Keon Coleman has it good. 21-14 halfway through the third quarter. And Bill for the carry has 5 yards on the play. Can Jayden and the offense respond? Daniels outside. There is Terry. 45-yard line on the first down. As they go quick bubbly outside left now. It's going to be Mekhi Lemon. First down, gain of 15 into Bill territory. Pop it to Mekhi, who loses a yard on the play. Second down and 11. Daniels throws it down the seam, and looking for Jalen Lane, incomplete. Third down and 11. Daniels, middle again. No, it's picked off. Brutal, and Buffalo has it. And with the lead, still third quarter, don't gotta panic or anything, but that is just really unfortunate. 10 yards there, second down and inches, and there goes James Cook. First down to the 40-yard line. Throwing is Allen over the middle, and it's caught. First down, and another conversion as Allen's moving this ball closer. Red zone opportunity, and this defense starting to slip again as the run. James Cook upended by Frankie Louvu, 3 yards. Second down and 7. Pass to the outside. It's caught with room, and at first and goal. It's Allen to the air, and Allen chase, rolls left, throws middle, and it's caught out of bounds. I was wide open though, and this time it doesn't miss it. Touchdown. Bills score again, 28-14, and that is such a massive flip. Having the ball in Bills territory, throwing a pick, and now Washington down by 14. Third down and 9. Come on, end of the third quarter. We need this. Jayden up top. Jayden incomplete. Looked for Lemon, and the Bills take over. Now we really need a big play. Orville Reese. Oh my goodness. He's flying around. Okay, I think that was a home run grand slam pick because he is flying. About as hard-hitting of a linebacker as you're going to find. There's Coy Parrish and Trimmer. So no! James Cook getting all the way to the 16th. Fourth quarter starts with that as Allen, play action, gets a completion to the 9. Second and 3. Allen is stepping up and running. Allen is lit up! Oh my goodness, Orville Reese at the 1, but Allen takes it in on the next play. I mean, Orville Reese is trying to force a fumble. That is ridiculous. It just might be all over for this Washington team, though. Down by 21 with 10 minutes to play. I mean, the Lions almost pulled off a comeback of 3 scores, so maybe we can pull one off, but it's going to need a touchdown on this drive. That's our only hope. Daniels throws it down the field, and it's caught all the way. Okay. Maybe don't turn off off the TV. Yeah, that's Dalton Kincaid from 43. I think the Dalton Kincaid revenge game was successful. I just don't know if the result's going to go our way. Down by 14. Allen is brought down 3rd and 1. Sneak it. Allen doesn't get it. Washington takes over. Okay, maybe. Throw it to the outside. First down, Makai Lemon. 49-yard line. This is where we need to score and take this into a situation where we can really put the pressure on him. Deep ball. Caught. Touchdown. There's a flag down, but it's a touchdown for Bill. Come on. Keep it. Jayden. Was it too far across the line? They're going to call a legal forward pass. That was such a good throw, but it was ahead of the line, and it's incomplete on 2nd down. 3rd and 15. Jayden, first down. Keep it going. But that was a chance right there. If we score with 7 minutes to go, it's plenty of time. And now 2nd down and 1. We could still score, though. We still have time. Daniels slides down to the 16. Under 6 to go. Daniels, run again. Jayden slides for 7 more. We're ticking towards the 5-minute mark. Play action, and sacked. Greg Rousseau, 3rd down and 10. We're losing a lot of time here. Daniels, first down, Jalen Lane to the 2. Injury timeout as they go jet pass. Will it be? No, fake it. And Bill, touchdown. We lose a couple of minutes there. It was 7 minutes when we scored the first touchdown. We're going to go for 2. It got taken off the board. We end up scoring with 4.5 to go. 2-point conversions, good to Lemon. So it's now a 6-point game. Do we have another stop in us? Well, that's a huge sack. That might be what we need to get the stop here. It's going to be a completion. Oh, that's really good to get those yards back. 3rd down and 9. Allen has got the completion. Shakir, no. 3 minutes to go. Allen scrambling. First down. He's gonna run through, fumble out of bounds. Come on. Everything keeps coming so close. And he fumbled it out of bounds. Allen, 2.5 to go. James Cook. It's a first down again. They're right on the outside of field goal range. Allen scrambling. Reese gets there for the tackle. 2nd and 3. Cook, let up Arvell Reese. 3rd down and 1. Allen to the air, swings it backwards, and stopped. But they're going to try a field goal. 52 yards. This is huge for the 2-score lead. Kick is good. It's a 9-point game with 1.5 minutes to go. 9 points. So it's going to require a miracle with 1 minute to play. That was just so many close calls. If we didn't have the illegal forward pass, we would have had an extra 2.5 minutes on the clock. If the fumble didn't roll out of bounds, we would have maybe had the ball. If just so much went our way there, if it just went a little bit differently, we would have had a chance. As that completion, Jalen Lane, first down. 3 seconds to go now. 12-yard line. There is no such thing as a 9-point play. Daniels, though, will scramble, and Jayden is in for the touchdown. And a Super Bowl that was high scoring. 38-36, your final. And just so close, but not quite for Washington. And we'll have to see if we can figure out any more adjustments that need to be made. I don't think it's a matter of if the team is good enough or not. It's a good enough team. Just didn't happen this year, which sometimes hurts a little bit more when you know you have the Super Bowl roster, you know you have the Super Bowl team, and it just doesn't happen for you. Run game was awful from non-Jayden Daniels players. Dalton Kincaid, hey, the revenge game was real. 7 for 130 and 2 touchdowns. As we have Jayden, 35 touchdowns, 5 picks on the year. And you can see Ja'Cory Cross-Merritt got banged up, and C.J. Baxter stepped in and had an awesome season with only 143 carries. And Makai Lemon has kind of taken over as the top receiver now. Both receivers though 1,300 yards and double-digit touchdowns. And then on defense, Arvell Reese, oh my goodness. 153 tackles, 5.5 sacks, and a pick. Dude, he is crazy. He also had 9 deflections. What in the world? Arvell Reese. Look at Shamar Stewart also winning a Defensive Player of the Year. What is going on here? All right, we'll go to free agency now. Two things. A lot of guys walked, so we kind of had to see if we could pick them back up. Trey Amos has no interest in being here, unfortunately. And Laramie Tunsil did retire, so we have to figure out that situation. Amos, though, it looks like he's probably going to go to Tennessee, which really stinks. But Terry, I think we can get back. Josh Connerly rejected contract offers from us. We cannot lose both of our tackles. We're going to offer Josh Connerly a big-time deal and move him over to left tackle to replace Laramie Tunsil, which very well could happen in real life, maybe. We need more money as well. Jayden Daniels, we're going to restructure the contract a little bit. It frees up a big chunk of money, $20 million. And then Jordan Hall, we literally just drafted him, but he was pretty good, hidden dev. We don't need him right now because of the fact that we have two defensive tackles we like. We're going to go and get some extra draft capital instead. DJ Reed is going to be who we sign to a contract to try to at least mitigate the loss of Trey Amos. Ja'Cory is not someone who really wants to be here, and I'm not really down to pay him a lot of money. So if he doesn't want to be here, it is what it is. But we sign a long snapper, we bring Terry back, and then with Connerly, DJ Reed, we are able to sign Reed, and then Ja'Cory, I think, is going to be gone, unfortunately, but CJ Baxter was really nice for us, so I think we can roll with him. Connerly, he's being a little difficult here, but I think we're going to be able to snag him. Trey Amos goes to Tennessee, which really stinks to not have him. Running back, we're going to go and sign a Travis Etienne one-year veteran deal just to kind of let him be the number 2 insurance policy guy for us. So we did end up getting Connerly as well. It took him a while. I don't know why he's not showing up here on the signings tab, but we got Connerly. I just don't know why it's not showing. Our first round pick as well. We do need a cornerback because DJ Reed was only kind of a one-year fill-in. Keyshawn Westbrook looks really cool. Number 1 bench reps, top 5 in speed, really good athlete, and almost spot on in the true talent, hidden dev. All of that kind of checks out, so that looks like it could be a future piece at cornerback, second round. Also looking at safety, love Malik Mustafa, but maybe we can upgrade, kick him over to strong safety. He's definitely got the skills for it, and we maybe don't have to pay Mustafa. He's 31 in true talent, pretty good, hidden dev as well. And then in the third round, how about an offensive lineman? We lost Laramie Tunsil, so we're kicking Connerly to left tackle, means we need a right tackle. Now about Joey Smith, a hidden dev player, to be maybe a potential right tackle for us. We also grabbed a wide receiver, running back, fullback, center, D-tackle, just some depth pieces for us, and everything kind of checks out there. Here is the team going into next season. CJ Baxter, starting running back. He's developed so nicely for us, and he's just going to get his opportunity now. I just think he's kind of deserves it at this point. We let Josiah Stewart walk and are going to let Culliver, our first-round pick edge rusher, take the job. And also the linebacking core was a little jumbled up there. I think Arvell Reese had a little injury. Everything's fine, though. We go into the end of the season, and even though we won only one less game than last year, we are a lot lower of a seed this time around because we are a wild card team. And on the road, taking on the Minnesota Vikings, we lost a little bit more in the regular season this year, just because we had a couple of banged-up players. You see, Arvell Reese was banged up, our right tackle was banged up. So, some minor injuries probably contributed to that, but I think we're pretty healthy, pretty okay going into the playoffs. 14-3 your score, and in the second quarter, it is going to be 17-6. Going into the second half of Vikings football as they will hand it off, and Minnesota's got Tank Bigsby at running back. Is Tank Bigsby really their starting running back at this point? Oh my goodness, what a hit! Fumble, but picked up by Minnesota. It was a hard hit that wasn't Arvell Reese, but Reese was in on that tackle. 3rd down and 3 for McCarthy, who's scrambling right, throws it deep, on the run, over everybody's head. 4th down and 3, opening drive, first minute of the third quarter, going for, running the football, not anywhere close. That was a bold call. I commend them for it, but it's not going to work out. as it's going to be Dalton Kincaid for the first down. How about a little draw play? There goes Jayden diving ahead. Look at that. Keep yourself nice and safe. No hits taken. And an incomplete pass. Second down turns to 3rd and 6 as the blitz set in and they beat it. That's a completion. Ryan Wingo back healthy for this playoff run. Happy to have him there. Look at CJ Baxter is going to get nothing on that play. Second down and 10. Pass is caught. Terry, who is very much a number 2 at this point. It is the Makai Lemon show for receivers. Jayden Daniels scrambling. Daniels in for the touchdown. 14 yards out. And Washington up now by 3 scores. 24-6. And a Vikings possession where they need to probably get something going here to at least give you a little bit of hope to make them believe that they have a chance in this one, or Washington could end up running away with it. McCarthy to the air, passes caught, Tank Bigsby, and a completion for a couple there. 3rd down and 4, pump fake McCarthy, and that pass knocked away. 4th down, they're going for it again, and 4th down, they got it this time. I like the play calling here. I like the aggressiveness from Minnesota. You got to be aggressive to win in the playoffs. You got to be aggressive if you're going to make a comeback, and you got to be able to make some tackles if you're Washington to prevent the comeback. First down there from Minnesota as McCarthy the outside, passes caught, touchdown, Vikings. And Minnesota makes it an 11-point game. Baxter on the carry, and he'll have 3 on the play. And Jayden to the air now. He'll roll left, throw it, and there's Dalton Kincaid again. Kincaid coming up with big plays. 52 yards on 4 catches as Daniels back to the air, throwing again. And Baxter out of the backfield, 9 yards. 3rd down and 1, sneak it. Jayden first down as they'll move it to the 40-yard line. Baxter always breaking off a first contact. Turner gets in there, though, for a loss of 3. And it'll be 2nd and 13 for Daniels. Fullback checking in as they go swing it to Baxter. And it takes 2 men to bring him down. But again, a loss of 1. 3rd down and 14. Can at least get into field goal range. Jayden will, I think, do just that. Terry on the catch. And a 50-yarder is going to be up and good for the 14-point lead. So if this defense doesn't give me any scares like they did against the Lions and like they have been prone to do, where they just allow a bunch of points in bursts, as that's Addison for a first down. And across midfield late in this 3rd quarter, McCarthy stepping up and into pressure, sacked. Loss of 2, and that checked out of the backfield. Missed the tackle, missed 2, and only get 5 on that one, but some tackling issues there. 3rd down and 7 for the marker, Addison, 2 yards shy, and they'll go for it again. Can't blame them. Run it, he's got it, and he's got more than a first down. He's gone all the way. Touchdown, Tank Bigsby gone. That was just brutal. You just not let Tank Bigsby do that to you. 7 yards on first down. Last play of the 3rd quarter for Jayden Daniels. Just got to keep on, make this lead insurmountable. Keep making it a 2-score game and making sure that they can't get too close to steal this one, as Daniels on the design keeper gets to the outside. There goes Jayden. Big run out of bounds. Keeping himself free of any hits, any fumbles. 29-yard line. There's field goal range with Dalton Kincaid getting even closer now into the red zone. 3rd and inches. You can sneak this. You're going to get it. And now moving ahead, looking for another score. Outside. There you go. Ryan Wingo to the 4-yard line. And Daniels' offense looking dominant right now. Daniels down to the 2-yard line. They're going to call it as they'll go sweep it. There's CJ Baxter. And that's just good contained defense. Jonathan Grenard making them lose 6 on the play. 3rd down and goal. Daniels, can you avoid the field goal? He's going to get rid of it out of bounds, and know that you had got to kick it. Got to kick it. Kick is good, though. And it's a 2-score lead once again. 9 minutes to play. And a sack! It's Jer'Zhan Newton getting the pressure in there for a loss of 10. But then wide opens Addison for the first. Wiping out that sack entirely as McCarthy down the middle of the field. Come on, defense, stop stressing me out. McCarthy outside, touchdown with ease. And another score for the Vikings. Come on, they're making this offense have to work their butts off just to keep this lead. 7 minutes to go. for Daniels, 2nd and 13. He's going to run again, and he's diving down for 5. 3rd down and 8. Need to convert here, I feel like, as you do, Daniels! Thank you! 17. I do not want to give them a chance to take the lead or even tie this game up. Just keep the ball in your possession. Daniels, 3rd down and 2. Got the blockers out there. Baxter, 1st down! CJ Baxter, that was awesome blocking from the perimeter players, as Baxter is going to get met, but get 3 yards on that one. Play action Daniels. There's a spy in there, and he's loaded up, throwing it deep, and it's incomplete. Ran out of field there. He had so much room. 3rd down and 7. Daniels scrambling. Another 1st down from Jayden on the ground. 4 minutes to play. Keep running, Jayden, and he's got 4 more. He's over 100 yards on the ground, and Daniels is throwing for 1st downs as well as Terry for the 1st. 3 minutes to go. What a drive from Washington. Like 5 minutes off the clock here. Daniels on 2nd 11. Throw it out. Keep it in the field of play. Baxter has got 2. Another 3rd down. Another situation. Jayden up top. It's caught. Touchdown. Ryan Wingo. What a drive from Washington to probably ice the game. I don't think you could have done it much more perfectly, because not only did you put up 7, but you took up time. Because even if the Vikings score here, I don't think their odds are all that good. They're going to have to start burning timeouts and throwing over the middle. Vikings still moving it well. McCarthy over 300 yards on the game. And yeah, Hawkinson, another 1st down. I mean, not really worrying yet. They got all their timeouts for now, but they're running the football. They might use a timeout here, and they will at the 26 yards out from the end zone, and they will go to Tank Bigsby. 1st down again. I mean, I guess, no, like, and they could hold on to both their timeouts if they score right here. 15 yards away. They're not going to burn one. 1:10 to go. Probably got to put in the end zone here, though. McCarthy, end zone. Well, he did it. Touchdown. Addison. Man, this defense is brutal. Onside kick is picked up by the fullback. Okay, that was scary, but I think we're going to hold on for this one. Barring something crazy. Baxter breaking a tackle, and Baxter just taking up all the time that he can. Daniels to ice it. 1st down, and he holds on. Game over. Washington 37-34. Scary. Defense, please help me out a little bit. Move on, though, to the divisional round where Jayden, I mean, he had an awesome game. And, yeah, I mean, 3 touchdowns through the air, 116 rushing yards and a touchdown. Ryan Wingo had the big receiving game. And on defense, I mean, yeah, Drazon Newton, 2 sacks. How about Garrett Williams? Sack and a pick as we look at the injury report. So Josh Connerly is going to be basically shut down probably for the rest of the year. Maybe if he makes the Super Bowl, we can come back. But we also have Culliver out as well, which stinks. And our backup, Montez Sweat, who we kind of brought in just as a little homecoming for him now that he's old and washed. Again, we're going to have to try to do it with little edge depth. And we take on the Atlanta Falcons. They are, I think, the top seed, 12-5 for the Falcons. And it's not going to be an easy one for us. We already took out one fellow quarterback in the draft class in J.J. McCarthy. How about trying to take out Michael Penix? Well, it's a low-scoring first half, 3-0, and Mekhi Lemon's going to have 10 to start off the second half. And that's a run where C.J. Baxter just ran through James Pierce, I believe, and he'll have another carry as he'll go out of bounds. Now it's Travis Etienne taking the ball there. And that's another pass where he's hit as he's throwing. Oh, play action. No, picked off. Jayden hit as he was throwing. That's not on him. It was off his blind side. And, oh, it's not even Penix at quarterback. Oh, okay. Who's Troy Collins? They drafted somebody, and no Penix at quarterback. That's interesting. All right, or maybe Penix is hurt. I don't know. Well, Bijan's still here. Drake London's still here. It's still the same cast of guys that we know as there's going to be a run. And Collins running for the 1st down. Inside the 20. Inside the 15. Down to the 10. And a nice run as they go. Bijan, who's getting blown up. Jalen Carter with the play. And having Jalen Carter in there is huge as that pass caught by Drake London. Touchdown. Atlanta strikes. And they finally will get points on the board, 7-3 Washington. And we'll see if the offense, can they respond? 6-yard run to set up 3rd down and 4 for Jayden as he'll throw. On the run, Jayden outside. Terry McLaurin for the 1st down. 45-yard line. Jayden will find Terry again. I mean, with how old Terry is, this could be retirement for him. A Kyle Lemon jet pass, just enough for the 1st down, even though he didn't get much, as he'll go in motion, clear out the backfield. And Jayden will step up and run it. And Jayden, already at 100 yards last game, looking for another big one. He's got 55 yards rushing so far in this one, as they'll run. Travis Etienne getting some more carries here as they have an injury timeout. 2nd down and 5, and they can't hang on. That was Luke McCaffrey getting targeted. 3rd down and 5. There's another completion, though. Luke McCaffrey right back to him. 1st down and goal from the 10. Daniels, is he going to run for it? Yes, he will. Slides down. 6 yards. 2nd down and 4. Nice hit. Lights him up. 3rd down and goal. Daniels, though, is running in. Touchdown, Jayden Daniels. Just can't stop his scrambling. 10-7 Washington. Bijan Robinson with the run, and they're going to have to lean on Bijan, just like the Falcons typically do, as Robinson gets 6 more. How about going 3 straight carries? Jalen Carter gets in there. 3rd down and 3 for Collins, and they'll throw. Quick pass, and knocked away. And I think that was Arvell Reese out there in coverage. What can he do? He rushes the passer, he stops the run, he lights people up, and he covers. He's the perfect player. Jayden sets up a 3rd down and 2 after the sack, and they'll go with the air. And that pass was for Etienne. He wasn't ready for it. He was supposed to leak out of the backfield, and they just weren't on the same page. There's Arvell Reese getting out there on Bijan in coverage. Dude, this is just a monster of a player. Like, seriously, I know in real life that dude's going to be a pretty clear-cut 1st-round pick, but hey, I'm happy that he made it to the 2nd round. We were able to make a trade up for, because everything that I've given up for Arvell Reese has been absolutely worth it. 2nd down and 12, and throw to Drake London's caught for a 1st down. And now from the 46, and he'll go down the field. Garrett Williams in coverage. 3rd down and 10. Collins, deep shot with the step, and knocked away. Garrett Williams again. Nice job from Garrett, shutting down that Falcons drive, and Washington takes the ball back, and Dalton Kincaid for the 1st down. 4th quarter underway now, as Daniels with the ball, with the lead, and with Makai Lemon. Lemon gets 30 plus on that one, and Daniels keep it going. Gets a completion out. Etienne getting the majority of the carries. I think Baxter's probably hurt. It was really unfortunate for us. This 3rd down and 7 for Daniels. He'll scramble. Daniels able to get by everybody, and they just can't catch him. 1st down again, and another completion. Donkey Kid running through a defender for 9 yards. 14 yards out, and they are going to hand off Etienne. Looked like he was stopped for a loss, but he gets that 1st down at the 11-yard line. 9 minutes to play, looking for the 2-score lead. That's a good hit, and knocks him down for a sack. Loss of 2. Jayden, though, to the air. Kincaid to the 2. Come on, punch it in. Etienne, oh my goodness, he's losing so many yards. Oh, that was disastrous, and he'll have to settle for 3. Field goal is good. With it remaining a 1-score game, it gets a little scary with the Falcons having the football. 8 minutes to go, and all of the opportunity in the world to take this lead as Carter gets in. But that throw, perfect, and a great catch down the field. But now more pressure in. Frankie Luvu sacks him, and we got them backed up to 2nd and 21. Collins gets the short pass to Drake London. We'll take that, though. Just 6 on the play. 2nd down turns to 3rd and 15. They send the blitz, and Newton gets in, forces the throw away. Washington has it back, and they could take a 2-score lead here. Come on, make it happen. Washington throwing. Daniels, nope, he's running again. And another 1st down. He's looking for another 100-yard rushing day as he gets another completion. He's doing it on the ground. He's doing it in the air. He's running that football with Travis Etienne for a 3rd down and 4 situation. But, I mean, what do you do when Jayden's running like that? I mean, you got to spy him, yeah, you got to contain him, yeah, but then you're taking away resources for the pass rush. You're giving him more time, and then he's going to hit the open receivers. He's over 100 yards on the day. He'll throw outside there, 3rd down and 2. Daniels, quick screen. Terry, stopped. 4th and 3, but you took the clock down to 3 minutes, kick a field goal, and take a 2-score lead. So once again, you work things pretty well, and you give them not a lot of time and a 2-score deficit, as Drake London has been he's just been fed 11 catches on the game. And look at Bijan. He's made that still an impressive play for it only being no yards on that one. Collins throwing outside and incomplete, 4th down and 1. They're gonna run it. Bijan, first down. I mean, fair to get the first down there, but clock now down to the 2-minute warning after this play. And at the 38-yard line, they're down to 2 timeouts as well, as they'll hit a receiver. That is caught. That's another. I think that was Bijan out of the backfield. I don't even know at this point. Everybody getting involved. That's Bijan, though. That's another completion. That's another first down. But the Falcons are down to 1 timeout. And that catch for Drake London. I mean, Drake London's torching this team. Another touchdown for Drake. Will it even matter, though? You got to get the onside. And it will be picked up. Washington. That's Terry. And that is game for Washington. And they will move on to the conference championship. 16-14, so nice to win a game where the defense is able to do their thing and we don't have to score 35 plus a game. Jayden, though, how about back-to-back playoff games with 100 rushing yards? That one 100 on the dot, and we move on to the conference championship, looking to go back to a 2nd straight Super Bowl, and against Seattle's going to be the task for us. Seattle's been obviously so good, and hey, well, let's have it come full circle for us. You know, this video was sparked due to getting smacked by Seattle and Jayden's injury. So, hey, let's beat Seattle. Let's smack Seattle, I guess. Let's do that. As 7-0, Washington in the first quarter on top. 14-0 Washington. Are we actually going to smack them 21-0 at half? We're dominating. Oh, this is the reverse of the script, but this time it's in the championship game. And Sam Darnold, that's 62 yards on the game right now. He is not playing good. And that ball, the JSN, is going to get him, you know, most of his yards on the game are going to come off those last 2 plays. Kenneth Walker, 5 carries, 18 yards. He's done nothing. Darnold rolling, 3rd down, out the back of the end zone, and incomplete. Tui Pelotu getting in there and forcing a field goal try, so it'll be 21-3. If this game starts getting out of hand, obviously we'll kind of cut to the highlights of it and not really waste our time too much. But I mean, the Lions game, the Vikings game, all these games, deficits are overcome, and especially when you're in 3rd down and 18 after that sack. Daniels down the middle, strike, and Ryan Wingo for the first down. Hey, it's just Ryan Wingo coming up with some big plays. Travis Etienne, Baxter is hurt for this game, so it's Etienne. It's other guys trying to get involved. I don't even know who that dude is, but that's our 3rd string running back. He's getting involved there as well. Fullback is in the game too. Daniels outside in the flats, touchdown. Mekhi Levin makes it 28-3, and the Seattle Seahawks, they are in some trouble now. And they will have the ball for a completion. Look at Kenneth Walker running through people. We'll jump ahead, though. 2nd down and 8. As that throw right at the line. Stop 3rd and inches. And look at this. This is ridiculous. The sneak and stop. But look who stopped the sneak. Why is Jayden Daniels playing D-tackle and stopping a sneak? What did I just watch? What? Jayden Daniels just came in, played D-tackle, and stuffed a sneak. And they're punting. What? Why are they punting too? It's 28-3. It's 4th and inches in enemy territory. I mean, I guess if you don't trust your team to even get past Jayden Daniels' defense, I don't know why Jayden Daniels is out there on D-tackle. Like, is our pass rush that thin? Is our D-line that thin that we just had to send anybody out there? And Jayden said, yeah, I'll do it. Look at our fullback getting carries. We're banged up, but we're okay, I guess, because Jayden can play D-tackle. Our fullback can run for double-digit yards. Dalton Kincaid can catch 20-yarders. And we're on to the 4th quarter, looking to pad things on a little bit more. And that pass incomplete on 3rd down. It'll be a field goal try, but yeah, I mean, 31-3. This one is just about over. 7 minutes to play, and 4th down for Darnold. End zone knocked away. That was the only little chance they may have had left. Artillery celebrating. Everybody celebrating. 34-3, your final in the NFC Championship. What a full circle moment. We get to smack the Seahawks around. At least that makes me feel a little bit better. But obviously, Seahawks fans, you got the real life win. That's the one that matters. But Mekhi Lemon, 3 touchdowns. Let me dream. Let me dream. Jerzon Newton, 2.5 sacks. He's played awesome. But I don't know why Jayden Daniels is playing D-tackle. Regardless of if Jayden's playing quarterback or defensive tackle, whatever other positions he wants to play, waiting for us in the Super Bowl is probably the one that I was hoping made it. And it will be a little rematch. Jayden versus Josh Allen. So I think the AFC Championship, it was Patriots versus Bills. So it was either Drake May versus Jayden, which would have been fun, or a little rematch, Josh Allen versus Jayden. We're back in Minnesota. We already won a playoff game here a couple weeks back, and now we're back to play in the Super Bowl and trying to get a little bit of revenge. I at least think, are able to have a just as good, if not better, team as we had last year and able to get this job done. Let's hope. Bills, it was close. Some breaks didn't go our way. Let's hope the breaks go our way this time around. 7-0 in the first quarter. Second quarter, Washington took a 14-0 lead, but Bills respond. And then going into halftime, it's 14-7. Bills with the ball, but down by 7. And they will have a completion to start their drive. Allen, no touchdowns, no picks on the day. And James Cook stopped in the backfield. 3rd down and 6 in motion. Allen will have a completion over the middle and crossing the field and getting into the 48-yard line. Allen looking to tie things up to start this second half over the head of his receiver. 3rd down and 8. Allen to the air. He'll throw for the first down marker. It was shy anyway and incomplete. And Jayden, the offense, will take over. So I believe Baxter is back for this game, if I am correct. ETN is still playing a decent amount. But, yeah, we have both running backs active now. There's Baxter, play action to him, but it's a little bit of a split rotation. Jayden, deep ball over the head of the defense. Touchdown, Ryan Wingo. Burn the defense and puts up 6. That's what you draft a guy like Ryan Wingo for, to take the top off the defense. And what a throw from Jayden. 21-7, and Jayden has taken a 2-score lead on Josh Allen. Allen's threat to go back-to-back in trouble here, but there's still a lot of time to go. James Cook out of the backfield, gets through, and James Cook is down to a 3rd and 4. Allen to the air, and he'll find a quick pass for a first down, and now moving the football into Washington territory with 37-yard line, and Allen once again to the air. That's another completion. Keon Coleman has 4. 2nd down in the play action. Allen for another Khalil Shakir play, so spreading the ball around. 3 different pass catchers on 3 different plays, and another one in the middle. 4 straight plays to 4 different players. Everyone getting the ball here, and now it's Cook. Tackled for a loss. Cook has just 20 yards on 11 carries, and Allen stiff-arming, and Allen out of bounds. Got rid of that football, but stiff-arming somebody in the backfield. That's crazy. 3rd down and goal. End zone! And caught! It's Shakir! Touchdown! It's good coverage from Sainer still. Just a great throw and catch, and it's a 7-point game. Baxter out of the backfield. He'll have double-digit yards on a first down as we're over halfway through the 3rd quarter. Deep pass, and Terry can't hang on. 2nd down and 10. Jayden will throw, and caught this time. Terry does reel it in, and they're in Bill territory. And that throw from Mekhi Lemon. 5 more on the play, and they'll go to Baxter. Stiff arm. Baxter running through a defender. And CJ Baxter, he's so tough to bring down. 3rd down and 3. Jayden, and guess what? Guess what Jayden's doing? He's scrambling, making moves. 23 yards on the play. Jayden takes us to the red zone with 3 to go in the 3rd quarter. Run the ball. There's ETN. And he'll have it on the 9-yard line. 2nd down and 3. Baxter back in. Baxter is diving in. CJ Baxter, touchdown. Washington back up by 14. Bills, you are in some trouble now as they got just 3 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. They can't run the football to save their lives, and they are down by 2 scores to an offense that is not missing right now. as 2 minutes to go in the third. Allen, pressure, Jayden Newton sacked him, and they gotta punt the football away. What a playoff run from Jayden Newton. Baxter getting the carry here, as it'll be 2nd down and 7 after Baxter's 3-yard run. Mekhi Lemon for the first down, 45-yard line. Keep it on the ground. It's ETN, it's Baxter, and it's Jayden. All of them running it well, swing it out. Baxter breaking a tackle and a first down again. He's so good breaking these tackles as now they go read option. Everyone bites on CJ. Jayden goes down for 5, 3rd down and 5. The design run got 5. The scramble gets more, and another first down. Washington can take a 3-score lead in the Super Bowl. That's Ryan Wingo for another grab. You see his stat line down there is ridiculous. And Baxter will lose a bunch on that one, but I don't think we're really sweating it right now. Baxter out of the backfield gets all those yards back and a little bit more. 3rd down and 7 as Jayden will go down for a loss of 1, but we'll kick the field goal, and this will be a 3-score lead as he will knock it through from 30 yards out. Josh Allen's got 9 minutes to make a 17-point comeback, and he'll start his drive off with just nothing on that one. Completion for 0 yards. Allen finds another one, but this one will actually get you 10. Sneak it. Jayden, I don't think was out there on the sneak for defense. That would have been ridiculous, though, as Sainer still, I think, Sainer still's up to superstar. Okay, that's cool. As he'll throw outside, and that's a nice tight window throw and a completion. Also, was that rookie cornerback we drafted? I think he's also superstar. Hey, we were hitting pretty nicely with some of these guys, developing players. 9 yards there, 6:30 to go, as Cook is going to get through, break 2 tackles, and that's about as good of a run as James Cook's had all game. And that completion, Shakir, 1st and goal at the 5. There's still a little bit of time left for them to make this happen, but they need everything to go their way here. 5 minutes on the dot now as they go to the end zone. Touchdown. And it will be Bills down by 10 with under 5 to go. Still all their timeouts, but Washington's not going to start playing it safe now. Deep completion, caught, slant route, caught. Terry, he's looking for that ring as they go to the outside. Mekhi Lemon, 1st down. The Bills can't do anything here on defense to stop them. Baxter, just 6 more on the play. Injury timeouts, but all the timeouts of the world don't mean anything if you can't get a stop. They need it here. It would stay a 2-score game. 3rd down and 5. Daniels, nope, it's going to become Mekhi Lemon, free to the end zone. Touchdown, Washington. 3 scores again. It's just too much for Allen to overcome. It's too much for them to just make this happen. I mean, Allen's had a pretty nice game. Run game's been rough, but this completion to Keon Coleman, it's going to put Allen over 350 on the day. And now, I mean, how about being on the flip side of it, being the one making sure everyone's defense can't get a stop when they need it, as Keon Coleman inside the 10. I mean, you're looking at touchdown, onside kick, and they got 1 touchdown there. Keon Coleman, still all their timeouts, but the onside is not going to go their way. With a 10-point lead with the ball, all you got to do is get a 1st down or 2, and it's all over. They want to go to Jayden, but he'll lose yards. 2nd and 14. Daniels throwing, tipped, and incomplete. That was a little bit of a wacky play for them. 3rd down and 14. Daniels over the middle. Mekhi Lemon. I wouldn't want it any other way, as the clock differential is a little off. So we have to kick a field goal because, you know, how about it? Insult to injury here. Field goal good with just 1 second to go. But yeah, we're going to take home the Super Bowl. 41-28. They're not going to get any 13-point kick return touchdown. He goes down. Washington wins the Super Bowl. It took us, I mean, it didn't take us that long. I felt like 4 years. 4 years it took us, because I'm not counting the first year where we were 3-6 and I took over. So it took us 4 years to do it. We made 2 Super Bowls, and hey, I think I hit on the draft picks. Mekhi Lemon, big hit. Arvell Reese, just grand slam pick. CJ Baxter in the 5th round, hit. about Koi Peric, and we took Ryan Wingo, and we took that other guard in year 3 who was a starter. We drafted pretty well, and that's kind of been the thing with Washington. They haven't drafted well because of Ron Rivera. You look at Ron Rivera's 4-year draft run, it's one of the worst in NFL history. That's why Washington currently has the oldest team in the league, because Ron Rivera missed on every single draft pick he had, and only like 2 dudes are still on the team that Ron Rivera drafted. That's how bad his drafting was. Ryan Wingo put up 166 yards and 3 touchdowns in the Super Bowl. That is ridiculous. But yeah, Washington just needs to build up a nice foundation, draft a couple of players. Obviously, they got their quarterback, and as you get through, Frankie Louvu and Terry retired. A couple other guys retired as well. So we get to send Louvu and Terry, 2 of my favorite players, out on the team, send them out on a ring. And to get a little recap of the stats, Terry, this is what he ended up doing for us. I mean, hey, I helped him get about 3 1,300-yard double-digit touchdown seasons in a row. Jayden was awesome. Everybody was awesome. So let me know what you thought of a video like this, where not only did I do a rebuild, but I also, through parts of it, kind of sprinkled in my own thoughts about the team, my own kind of analysis. And, being a Washington fan, I have a lot more to say about it. But if I want to do a rebuild with somebody, do you want me to just kind of shut up and say, hey, just rebuild the team and commentate? Or, maybe kind of put my input in there a little bit, and you guys can tell me how stupid I am, or if you agree or not, If you disagree, it's all right. It's not that big a deal. But hope you guys all enjoyed. Like, comment, and subscribe. And if you want to see more, let me know. And as always, I will see you guys all in the next one.